Two breaking stories just dropped about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and both have fans and media buzzing. On one hand, a familiar face is returning to the roster, not just any player, but someone who knows the Pittsburgh vibe and could quietly become a key piece. On the other, a franchise legend just spoke out and didn't hold back. Ben Roethlisberger broke down the current team, pointed out flaws, praised what's working, and sent a direct message to Mike Tomlin. These are the latest updates from the Steelers, and there's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the new arrival who might become a crucial piece mid-season. The Pittsburgh Steelers are dipping back into a familiar well to shore up their linebacker room. Say hello again to Jacoby Windman. After parting ways with Jawan Bentley and watching John Radigan get scooped up off their practice squad by the Raiders, the Steelers decided to bring back a guy who already knows the vibe in Pittsburgh. Windman's no stranger to the black and gold. He was with the Steelers last year after going undrafted, stuck around through training camp and preseason, and even made some noise in those exhibition games, racking up 11 tackles over 3 contests. He didn't crack the final 53 though, and was waived. But Pittsburgh kept him close, adding him to the practice squad before the Carolina Panthers came calling in November and snagged him for their active roster. Now let's rewind for a second. Windman had a pretty impressive college journey. He kicked things off at UNLV, where he was a tackling machine, putting up 169 total stops and 12 sacks over 30 games. Then came a move to Michigan State, where he brought more heat with 64 tackles and 6.5 sacks in just 11 games. After the 2023 season, he hit the transfer portal, but instead of switching schools again, he threw his name in the hat for the 2024 NFL Draft. In Carolina, Windman didn't exactly light up the stat sheet, but he found a niche. He was mostly a special teams warrior, logging 91 snaps there, but also got a little run on defense with 127 reps and finished his rookie year with 22 tackles and 1.5 sacks. Not bad for an undrafted rookie trying to make a name for himself. Unfortunately, he got released back in August and had been a free agent ever since, until now. With the Steelers now down 2 backers, Windman steps in as a low-risk, high-upside practice squad signing. He knows the system, he's got some regular season tape, and most importantly, he can contribute on special teams right away. Don't be surprised if he's suiting up on game day sooner than later. Pittsburgh might need that depth fast, and Windman looks like their next man up. And if you thought that news was wild, the next one is even hotter. Big Ben just dropped some truth bombs about the Steelers, and no one was safe. Ben Roethlisberger isn't just watching the Steelers from the sidelines with a beer in hand. He's watching with intent, and he's got a few firm words for his old head coach, Mike Tomlin. Coming off their bye week and a gritty 24-21 win over the Vikings, Big Ben sees progress in this Steelers squad, but also plenty of room to tighten things up, especially with the Browns looming in Week 6. First up, the offense. Roethlisberger's not blind to the fact things are looking better. The offense is starting to hum, and the tight ends have finally come alive. Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith were all over the Vikings' defense, combining for 21 grabs, 136 yards, and a score. Smith even flexed some career-high numbers this season with 88 catches for 884 yards. Not bad, huh? But Big Ben wants more. More tight ends, more variety, more ways to keep defenses guessing. And when it comes to facing freak-of-nature pass rusher Myles Garrett, Roethlisberger's message is simple. Double him, triple him, send the damn water boy if you have to, but don't leave that man one-on-one. If there's ever a time there's not a second person blocking Myles Garrett, we need to cause a stink, he said, and he's dead serious. Tomlin, for his part, seems to be on the same page. He's leaning into the physicality, saying the Steelers have a certain personality when facing 4-3 defenses. That's why they drafted the mountain that is Darnell Washington, because if you're lining up against 300-pound linemen, you'd better have someone who can go toe-to-toe with those beasts. Now, here's where things get a little wild. Roethlisberger also dropped a nugget about protecting Aaron Rodgers. Yep, that Aaron Rodgers. It sounds bizarre, but context is everything. Rodgers is still seen as a major threat around the league, and Roethlisberger is using him as a measuring stick for how the Steelers need to step it up. The O-line, in his eyes, is the biggest question mark. 9 sacks allowed so far this season, 2 of them just last week. And while Rodgers isn't on the Steelers, the message is clear. If Pittsburgh's own QB takes that kind of punishment, the season could spiral fast. Roethlisberger's caution is based on what he saw in Minnesota. Rodgers, despite taking some big hits, was still sharp, going 18 for 22 for 200 yards and a touchdown. That kind of efficiency demands defensive discipline, blitz pressure, and airtight coverage. And Big Ben knows it's up to Tomlin to draw up a game plan that can not only weather those storms but bring some thunder of their own. Winmon's return shows the Steelers are locked in on the details, and Big Ben's words echo what many fans are thinking. If this team wants to contend, they better listen to those who've been there. Subscribe so you don't miss any Steelers updates.